Hey Brian, happy Sunday. And I am really jealous that you got to go to a museum right in our backyard that I didn't even know existed. Looked like you had a blast. Now, they did get me to thinking, are there other gaming experiences we haven't had outside of the common thoughts? Obviously, things come to mind like Comic-Con, E3, BlizzCon, maybe even your more Microsoft, Apple development things, any of the expos that you see hosted for everything from penny arcades to board games, cosplay. Maybe it's focused on one developer, maybe it's focused on more than that. Those are going on all the time, and you could easily get to look those up. But I was wondering if there was more destinations that just as a gamer or anything surrounding that kind of culture that would be worth traveling to specifically for a non-organized event, just maybe all year round or maybe during a specific season. And so starting in the United States, I would say it would be pretty cool to see the Titan Museum, Titan Missile Museum in Tucson, Arizona, because that's like where you can see one of the largest nuclear missiles ever made. It's obviously been decommissioned, but that'd be pretty cool. And then California has all sorts of history because of Silicon Valley, so I would think the Computer History Museum in Mountain View, or maybe Zeus or something in San Francisco. I would think there's a lot of really neat exhibits and things like that that are up all year round, founded by all of the development that has come out of California. And if you haven't been to Orlando, Harry Potter World is incredible, and I've never had the chance to do Legoland. There's a ton of parks there that are open all year long that would be totally worth the visit. But as we start to get a little more obscure, I would think about the American Classic Arcade Museum in Laconia, New Hampshire, or there's actually an adult space camp in Huntsville, Alabama. There's an Art of Video Games Museum in Toledo, Ohio, as we head a little more north. And then when we swing over to New York, you got a lot of people up there. You think about the Nintendo store in New York City, there in Manhattan. There's a Museum of Play in Rochester, New York that's pretty interesting. There's a spy museum as we come back south to Washington, D.C. And it would be worth, if you're just doing all this as some sort of road trip, stopping in somewhere like Roswell, New Mexico to see all the alien type stuff, or maybe in Ruby Canyon in western Colorado to dig up some dinosaur bones. That'd be kind of cool. Let's assume for a moment you really want to get out of the United States, or you're already from out of the United States. We are not the only place that loves our video games. I have read about, in Reading England, that there is a place where they actually have like a zombie survival experience. That would be a blast to fly over and try. Also, if you're into Doctor Who, that's over in like Cardiff, Wales, I think. And then Game of Thrones is largely shot around Belfast, Ireland, and things like that. So there's tour groups that can take you on all sorts of different destinations where they've shot that. Large parts of the Lord of the Rings were shot in New Zealand, so it might be worth swinging over to Waikato. I might be butchering all of these names. And then I would love to see CERN in New Zealand, but I understand that you have to book certain parts of that way in advance, and so you'd kind of want to plan that trip and not just pop in. Assassin's Creed, obviously they shot one of their games in Florence, Italy, so that would be worth swinging through. Lots of history there. Star Wars Tatooine was shot down in like Mata, Tunisia, so that would be pretty cool. And then of course, as you work your way over into the more Asian parts of the world, you've got Tokyo, Japan, where you can go see like Akihabara Electric Town is apparently like a central district where there's just hundreds of gaming stores, and it would just be neat to go over there and see some of the areas where so many of our favorite titles have originated. But I'm bound to be missing some. So maybe some people can kind of share in comments some of the places that are around them, or places they've been that either referenced things that they were inspired by games, or directly games themselves. Something worth seeing. And maybe there's somewhere else you and Julie can pop over to sometime. Now, I do want to go ahead and admit that I by far lost running to you. I've injured my back, and then I went on a ski trip, and that didn't make it better, surprisingly. And so I'm going to go ahead and admit defeat for the month, but I think for this month, we should compete on Gil. So as of tonight, I'm going to send you an in-game message telling you how much gil I have, and then I'd like you to respond by telling me how much gil you have, and then let's see who can make more gil between now, the 12th, and the end of the month. That should be a nice little brief sprint, see if we can rack it up, and that'll be a nice challenge, let my back have a rest. And with that, I want to say thanks for another week, Brian. I've had a blast. We have gotten a lot of new news out of Final Fantasy. I've gotten to try my Nintendo Switch, looking forward to sharing my thoughts on that, and I can't wait to hear from you next Sunday. Hey guys, thanks for watching. These Sunday dialogues back and forth between me and Brian are a blast to share with you guys. We don't really get to script with each other what we're going to say. And if you liked this video, please hit like down below. If you'd like to see more videos from us and you haven't yet, push that subscribe button. Otherwise, there should already be another video waiting for you right there. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. See you Sunday, Brian.